One of the 10 commandments is found in Exodus chapter 20, verse 7. And it's a commandment that most Christians don't fully understand and only get part of it. It is, "Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord your God in vain." And when a lot of people think of that commandment, they think of, saying something like, "Oh my," and then putting God's name at the end of it. Something like that. And yes, it's important that we revere God's name, that we acknowledge the importance of the name that we're talking about when we talk about God and Jesus Christ. But what it really means is when we become Christians, we become image bearers of Christ. We're Christians. Christ. The word Christ isn't Christian. And so when we become Christians, we take up the name of Christ and help show others Christ. And so if we're taking up Christ's name, and yet at the same time, when we're denying that we know Christ by our actions, we're taking his name in vain. And so it's important that when we become Christians, when we put on that helmet of salvation, we also put on the breastplate of righteousness, and that we practice following God. It doesn't mean that we're going to be perfect at it, that we're never going to stumble and fall, but it means that we need to put it into practice. The breastplate of righteousness only actually covers your front. A breastplate covers the front and not the back. What I'm wearing this morning is actually not a breastplate, it's a cuirass. A cuirass covers both sides. In Scripture, it talks about the breastplate of righteousness, and the breastplate, kind of like what the Roman soldiers wore at that time, it strapped on the front, but the back was completely exposed. There wasn't any armor there. And that is important and significant because it shows when we turn our backs on Christ, we're left completely unprotected. And so it's important, if we stop living righteous lives and we turn our back on God, we're left completely unprotected from chaos that comes in our lives. Whenever struggles come, our best defense is to turn to Christ and put it in his hands, because there is no problem that is too big for him. And so it's important that we don't turn back on our walk with God, but we continue moving forward and following him.
Subscribe to me in my channel, and together we shall rule YouTube.